Now setters are a little bit different. What setters do is they allow you to change the value of one of the private data members. So you set the value. So these ones don't return anything. And set number of sides. But you need to send a value. It's like, okay, what do you want to send it to? So you're going to have to send it an int that is the number of sides. And that's what that setter is going to do. So here we go. So again, we go in here and we want to implement this. So I'm going to start with the name of the class, scope resolution operator, and I want to set the number of sides. And now in here, what do? We just say, oh, make the number of sides equal to what they set. Okay, now this is just like giving them direct access because you're taking the value they sent and you're just storing it there. We're going to make our classes a little bit more robust, but we're not going to do that now. We'll do that in the next activity. So know that this is not robust because of that, because we're just letting the user set it to anything. So we'll change that in the future. All right, now we have where we can set. So we can say, okay, let's change. So here we've got that. Let's go ahead and say on my first dice, I want it to have 8 sides. So we'll set number of sides to 8. And now let's print out the information about it and see what happens. And there, we were able to set the value of my... That doesn't look quite right. Oh no, there it is. My first dice has 8 sides, and the value of my first dice is 5. So it's just it's bunched together. That's what confused me, but there it is. So now it has 8 dice. Up here, it had 6 dice. Notice that value is the same. We didn't change the value. We didn't roll the dice. All we did was change the number of sides. The other private data member we have is value. So let's go ahead and create a setter for that. Again, it won't return anything. We'll just call it set value. And it's going to need an integer, right? That is whatever new value they're going to set it to. So that's what it looks in the .h file where we just put the method declaration. And then we can go in the CPP file and write the implementation for this method. Set value. And what we're going to do is we're going to set the private data member value to the value that they send. Notice that this is not robust. We're just, whatever they send, we're putting in there. We're going to fix that in a future activity. So know that that's not quite right yet. And then in main, we can go use this. Here we set the number of sides. Let's go ahead and do on my first dice and set the value. So set value. And we can set the value to, let's just set it to 7 and see what we get. Now that sets it. Let's go ahead and print everything out to try again and see what it says. Okay. And there, so now my first dice, if we go up and see both of them, the value of my first dice is 1 and my first dice has 8 sides. This would have been the value after the last roll. And now my value of the dice is 7. And that's what we set it to by using the set value. This would be like somebody picking up a dice, picking which side they want up and putting it down. And it has 8 sides from when we set it to the number of sides. So there we have 2 setters, a setter for each of the private data members.